Mask. I like it. All right, it says we're live again. So, welcome back to another week of the Commander Safety Brief. I am Senior Master Sergeant Vesper. I'm the Operations Superintendent in the 316.
I'm Master Sergeant Harrison, 316 MTL.
So, we're here as the opening act once again for the Commander and the Chief. So, we're here to cover a couple of things across the top, and then hopefully answer some of your questions before the Commander gets here, and things that don't really have to reach his level, but we can help clarify or answer. So I know you have a list as usual, so we'll start with that and go from there.
All right, so as many of you know, COVID, right? The COVID mask wear has come out. So if you've read what the Wing Commander has already come out with the policy, which we posted up through the dorms and on Discord, you'd understand that mask wear is mandatory, even for vaccinated airmen, okay? And I do know that they said outside, vaccinated airmen, as long as they are not within 3 or 6 feet, you don't have to wear a mask. Just precaution, wear it, because you're going to get stopped and asked to produce a white card and all the other stuff. I understand it's getting hot out and whatnot, and most of you are rolling in wingmen with wingmen anyways, so you need your mask anyways. But if you are solo, just expect to be stopped if you're not wearing your mask. You're not wrong, but you will be stopped, okay? So it's up to you, but I'm going to just wear my mask all the time. So
it definitely makes it easier.
Yeah.
All right, so with the mask wear, comes the entire shot thing also, right? So the vaccination you brought up. If you've taken one of the vaccinations, if you've gotten your first series, please make sure you're following up with your second series. If that's your choice to continue on with that, or you have to formally decline the shot, right? So if you have not gone to medical to either formally decline or accept a shot, you need to get to medical and do those things. That is a medical appointment, right? Talk to the MTLs, mm-hmm. Talk to the instructors, tell them you have a medical appointment, right? That is something that you need to take care of. Whatever your decision is, that is your decision. It is not mandatory for the shot at the moment, but it is mandatory that you make a confirmed either declination or acceptance of that shot. So please, let's get this taken care of. I'm getting by name lists from the med group through our group commander, and we're answering for these by name, especially if you're overdue for your second dose. So please realize, this is serious. Get it taken care of as soon as possible.
As well as off base. So you are still allowed to go off base. Wear your mask. Don't be seen off base without your mask and think that that's going to be okay, because we will pull you in the office afterwards. That being said, COVID is serious. I don't want to get to the point where we start getting more and more cases on base and then it's forced to shut down. So if you still want to continue going off base, do the right thing. It may just happen anyways, but at this moment, it's really up to us to make sure that we're doing the proper procedures and safety procedures and precautions for COVID, so we don't bring it back, and we can continually do some activities.
We keep trying, right? And we do keep looking at the numbers. The numbers over the next couple of weeks are going to be critical to what we're doing, right? Hopefully, if everybody's doing the right thing and having that integrity, wearing that mask the way they're supposed to on and off base, those numbers, we'll see that decline again. And as that decline happens, the med group is going to continue to recommend to the wing commander that, we are being responsible, that you do deserve the freedoms and the different things that we can get. So please, help everybody out.
That being said, make sure you correct everybody. It doesn't matter what rank they are, okay? Do it respectfully, but if they're not wearing it, let them know. I mean, we don't want to pay the precaution, because I was just talking today. I could roll around with my mask and nobody's probably going to correct me, but they need to, okay? So let's make sure we're doing that.
So today was more of the lenient. Today was the informative day. Tomorrow, expect people to be cracking down on it, right? So if you see somebody walking down the troop walk tomorrow, that's a correction, right? If they're in one of our buildings, that's an easy correction. It is on, It really doesn't matter right now. It's something we need to watch out for.
So that is safety. Well,
That is some safety right there.
So for the next couple of weeks, I'd say till August 6th, CSS, all CSS for OutPro will be handled at the MTL office. So if you have anything on your checklist that requires CSS or Mr. Middlebrooks or whoever's stamp, come to the MTL office, we'll take care of it. As well as all students, prior service, non-prior, we need to be using crosswalks. That's what they're designed for. We don't need to be just sprinting across the street playing Frogger and hoping we don't get hit, okay? People are expecting to slow down at crosswalks, and let's just utilize them. All right, I do know that there are some cases where crosswalks aren't available, like at the Crestman and whatnot. Planning, proper planning for positive performance. Make sure you pick a route that you know is gonna have crosswalks and get you there, okay? So let's start utilizing that, as well as reflective belts. You all are still mandated by the squadron commander to have your reflective belt on all the time. So that signifies that you are 316. Do not get caught without it, because if you've had multiple infractions, you're looking at paperwork, we don't want to go that route, okay? So
For that one, real quick, right? I know it seems silly in wearing that sometimes, right? I get it. However, y'all, the positive performance that you all have put on and demonstrated and has been identified while you were wearing those belts has been identified all the way up through the wing, right? We have had positive comments on 316th Airmen doing the right thing, and they knew that it was 316th because of those belts. When the commander got here, right, he's only been here now a month and change, right? Before he checked in as the commander, right, he was going around and seeing, right, those yellow belts, and he saw how people were acting when none of you knew who he was, and he did not identify himself as the commander. At that point in time, right, those positive things have kept us wanting to keep the belt because it really identifies us as those positive individuals on this base, and it shows what you all are doing in the right light. So don't think of it as a punishment. Don't think of it as, oh, this is kind of, it really sets you apart and has already been demonstrated as a positive thing. So please, right, wear it with pride. That shows what you're doing is the right thing.
yeah, you guys do it. 315 talks about it, right?
That's the way it
Is that
goes.
how it goes? All right, you definitely wear it with pride, okay? Be sharks. That being said, it's like undercover boss, right?
That's what I mean. He was able to kind of get that ground level truth. And when he first saw it, he thought the same thing. Man, this is kind of a crazy thing. But it actually proved that, wow, everybody knew the airman that was doing the right thing. Positive attitudes, right? Helping people out, right? Crossing in the crosswalks, doing what they're supposed to do. It was easy to identify from a distance as who that was. We didn't have to look and go, oh man, what patch is it? What that belt gave it away. So thank you, and right, that's from the leadership team here. Thank you for doing what you do and identifying as a shark.
Definitely. That being said, when marching, make sure you have a plan. Like I said, for the crosswalks, make sure you know where you're going before you start marching. You don't need to be talking about which direction. You should already have it planned. So that should reduce all talking, because you do not talk in March. You also need to be all uniform. What does that mean? Everybody has to be the same, okay? So that's one reason you guys don't get to wear the ball caps, the cool operator hats, because you are all issued standard OCP caps. So you all will wear it all the same, sleeves down or up, but everybody must be the same. Make sure your class is fully aware and everybody's operating at the same time. If one person does not want to do that, then you guys all have to come together and make sure somebody or you all are rolling the sleeves down or up. Okay.
If you are rolling them up, make sure you know the reg on rolling them up. So that was identified as a thing that was brought up to our attention. Right. Know the regs. Right. Know 362903. It's only going to behoove you to read that now. And be aware of what it is. So become very familiar with that, right? So when you're rolling up your sleeves, the last cuff has to be within an inch of the bend of your arm. So that one, Well, so
Depending.
don't do it. Don't finger size doesn't work right. It's 1 inch. It is standard for 1 inch. And we have a question up there regarding the reflective belts, real quick. I think you can address very easily.
The reflective belt while wearing civilian clothing. No, you do not need the reflective belt in civilian clothing. Okay. We did do that back in the past, but that was when the base was in lockdown and you couldn't go anywhere. So it was just mandated to have reflective belts all the time because there was a lot of issues and that we were getting blamed for that really wasn't us. So once we put the reflective belts on, they started understanding, oh, okay, we're correcting the wrong individuals.
Correct. Okay, so we're getting some other questions regarding caps again. Okay, so if not wearing tactical caps is an ATC issue, then why are we the only squadron to follow that? Because we're the top squadron of the year. We do the right thing. It is one of those that is some discretion. However, right, it's also an identifier. So our airmen are issued their patrol caps or OCP patrol caps within basic training. As that, since they don't even have the proper manufacturer and everybody's kind of just buying caps, we can't guarantee the actual uniformity of our students. And therefore, right, the uniformity piece is in AETC. How that's interpreted through it, right, that is absolutely a determination that goes on. We had that conversation with the command team, with the MTLs, and right, for that, we want to do the right thing. We want to stay by the standard. The standard is uniformity, which means right now, no ball caps.
And we're not going to be forcing people to buy the ball caps because everybody else wants to wear them.
So once there's a verified manufacturer for AFES, and then we're actually getting standardized, at that point we can relook at that topic. But right now, it is no ball caps. Do you need to wear the same color mask while marching? So
as of right now, no. Yeah, it has to be solid and a bland color. Can't be bright, flashy, anything like that. We have some tan and all black masks in our office right now. So if you need to come and get a mask, get a mask. OTs can help you out because I gave them, I don't know, there's probably 1,000 masks in there because I'm expecting all new people to come in. Hopefully they have masks. I'm sure BMT's wearing it. But so yes, they have to be, or OCP mask. But yes, one kind of dull drab color, okay? We do authorize white, and you can wear the medical mask if you have it, but we do have a bunch of black masks and tan masks, so come get one. They're free. That's what we ask.
they're free and they're required. So once again, right, it comes down to that, right? There's a lot of things that, right, are wants, and then there's things that are issued and required by items. For the required items, we will ensure you have what you need. So that's where we're at with kind of where we're at on a variety of our things. Okay. Are there any other questions? I'm looking at the time. There are. Look at this. Okay. Any chance restrictions become even greater and my family wouldn't be able to come on base Labor Day weekend? So Labor Day weekend is still a ways away. I can't say that, right, there is a chance. If the numbers continue to increase and we continue to have people that aren't following the rules and right doing those things, yes, there is a chance that it could become greater and they could lock it back down. There was a point in time here at Goodfellow that we did not allow family members to come on, and right, there was a lot to that. So hopefully we don't get there again. This is the initial step to fight that. Is everybody being in masks? We're trying to protect. So hopefully we can stop it before it gets worse.
It was even shut down for retirees.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So
numbers get higher. Would that reintroduce another travel restriction similar to that of the past? Yes, it could. Mm-hmm. It absolutely could. So, right, as the wing commander and as DoD continues to look, right, so as you've seen, right, the way this is flown, so DoD put out their standard guidance. It ran through the Pentagon area, which had the first, hey, everybody's in masks. that flowed extremely quickly all the way out here to San Angelo, where the wing commander made that same determination in line with everybody else. So we have to follow higher guidance. We will continue to do that, and we're going to continue to monitor it. If we have the leeway to kind of make the decisions, and the commanders are going to make those calls.
When it comes to religious accommodations, is one
Chances of us returning to shifts for class. So on the operations side, I will say that if the health condition actually increases beyond what it is for Bravo right now, yes, more than likely we would have to return to shifts for class due to the requirements to meet our manpower limits that are in that. So there is a chance. Right now, that's not where we're going, but we do have a plan if we get there.
So for the religious accommodations, yes, stop by the MTL office. We will send it off to the chaplain, right? And then the commander will also sign for approval. But it has to be approved through the chaplain and the commander. But we will send out the paperwork. Okay.
The MTLs will route it and get it where it needs to go. All right. Any last questions before we hand this over to the commander and the chief?
Going once, going twice. We're sold.
We're sold. We're out.
All right,
Awesome.
Stand by.
Stand by.
We're gonna be checking.
Happy Thursday.
Hey, hey, hey.
I'm Lieutenant Colonel E.J. Mason, your squadron commander at the 316. Go Sharks.
Go Sharks. I'm Chief Gill. If you don't know me, I'm Chief Gill. I'm the superintendent here, so I'm here to be the mama shark.
There you are. Do.
Do.
Yeah.
That's right.
I got three things we're going to talk about today from my end. Number one, it's probably what you guessed in, COVID, right? And thanks for giving me an intro on a lot of these topics. I know it's frustrating and a little bit confusing because there's been guidance that's come out from the last wing commander about less than 30 days ago, from our wing commander now, from DOD, and from the squadron, right? So as the situation has changed, the policies have changed. So I think everyone got the latest update that went out today because we pushed it as soon as we got it from the wing commander. So it's 100% mask for all good fellow airmen on base and off base. That on base and off base also includes government vehicles. So my Angelo State people who are using the government vehicle, while you're in that, not in your personal vehicle, but in your government vehicle, that also includes that mask. So what are the smart, easy things that are listed in the policy that came out? Social distance, mask wear, no large crowds. It doesn't give a size to large, so use your common sense. And something that came up with from the group commander at this point. If you want the vaccine, we will make sure that you have every opportunity to get the vaccine. One of the feedbacks from the health officer from the wing is our students are saying that they haven't had an opportunity to take the vaccine because they're too busy and the schedule doesn't allow it. So I'm telling you now, if you come up comms to your instructors, to the MTLs, to me or the chief or anyone in the front office and say that you want a vaccine but you just can't wait the time in, we'll make sure that you get that time. And we know that they're saying that you need to buy an appointment. Again, if you want it, let us know. We'll work that. One of the other things that came up is there are some students who have taken one series of the vaccine and have not taken the second one. So if you started the vaccination process and you've determined that you don't want to take the second vaccine, you can do a decline. You can go to the medical office and say, I don't want to finish the series, or you can get your second shot. So if you're taking that, specifically, we're tracking that. So if you want that second shot, let's get it on. One of the things that probably is going to the most questions is like the mask during fitness, right? So really clear in the policy. If you're outside, socially distanced away from people, you don't have to wear a mask. You can do small unit level PT. You can do flight level PT. Distance away from each other, and I'll see the PT formations doing that. If you're inside the gym here, you have to use a mask, even if you're doing cardio activities. The other thing about COVID and this policy that affects you the most is leave and pass. We've always had a case-by-case policy for leave and pass for students. Up to now, we really didn't have to consider the COVID vaccination as one of the factors in that. And now, specifically in the policy, we can consider your vaccination status in the in the approval process for your leave or pass. Specifically, that work will be, where are you going? What's the COVID rate in the place that you're going? How high is it? Is it a hotspot? What's the past trend, and what do we expect out of that too? So the policy calls for a risk assessment. Each squad can come up with their own risk assessment, but we'll surely look at your vaccination status, where do you want to go, and what's the chances of you getting the illness, and then we'll also explain to that. It also says when you come back, you might be subject to ROM, which again the medical authorities will tell you if you have to ROM, which could affect your class schedules. So again, depend also where you're at in the course will help us with that. So that should be be pretty clear. If you did not notice, the policy is effective yesterday, or the 29th of July, and ends 31 October. So a lot of times commanders will do a policy for a year just to cover a time period, so we don't have to do a lot of change to it. That it ended 31 October lets me know that there's some hope for the wing, that the wing commander thinks that we can get through this period, and as the numbers go down, we can relax some policies. But right now, it's just everyone do what they have to do. I heard Sergeant Harrison say that he had masks available. So that's in addition to that, the squadron also has about 500 masks available. So if you can't get it from the MTLs, come up comms and we'll get you mask. Just probably even want to have a backup mask. And to be 100% clear, just so, and I've heard this a couple times today, the mask or card policy is no longer a thing. So you can carry your card with you, but if right now we're at 100% mask process or requirement, it really doesn't matter that you have your vaccination card on you. So make sure that you put those away for a later date when we might be here again. I am tracking for safety that there is a country concert this weekend in San Angelo at the is it at the River Stage?
It is at the River Stage.
So if you're a good fellow shark, if you're basically anyone from our training wing, remember that 100% mask policy also extends to off days. So if you're going to hit that concert, I expect you to be safe. I also expect you to be within policy and wearing the mask. Anybody have any questions about COVID, anything that
We have one.
We have one before we move to the next subject. If we leave next week and don't have time to get the doses here, but do want to get our next base, do we still need to officially decline it here? I don't think you're declining it here. So is that wise? Hey, wise. So I got a list from the group, which came from the med group, on who specifically was overdue on their second shot. So wise, your name wasn't on the list. So we know who's, if there's a certain time frame that's included, you're good to go in yours, you can get your shot at the next place. We're talking about people who are overdue, like people who took the first vaccination back
But
in.
yeah, you don't have to decline it though. If you're leaving next week, you can just get to your gaining base when you in process and start getting your series of shots then.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't have to do anything here.
Not decline. Yeah, the people who I'm talking about on the decline, actually we got by name and we contacted. So other people, if you've started taking series and you're deferring or debating what you're going to do, just come up comms, let us know. Nuclear green is peaking in most places, so I'd be pretty hopeful too. True. Could COVID cause classes to be put on pause? I don't think COVID will cause classes to be put on pause because we don't have a pipeline that stops coming from BMT. We have a national requirement to still supply the CSS with the cryptologic airmen. So we would adjust a whole lot of things, but pause, probably not. It'd have to be really, really bad, and that directive would have to come way above us.
We made it through 18 months so far of COVID without pausing training in the 316th. So we have split people days and nights. We have done swing shifts. We have not stopped training. So, yeah.
If we're leaving next month and the vaccine becomes mandatory, it takes 21 to 28 days to get both doses. Will we be held here until we can get them both doses?
No.
I don't think we're doing a pause on people with PTSD for that.
No.
because most of you can pick up any of those in a local area. It may not be at your base. That may not be what they have in stock.
You might have to go to
But
CVS.
you can go to CVS or a grocery store of some form that has a pharmacy, and you can look it up online for your vaccine type.
Yeah. Yes, if we haven't started taking a vaccine and want to wait until it becomes mandatory, do we need to decline it? Yes. You have to you will receive the informed decision brief from med group. At that point, you will decline or accept the vaccination. It is fine with a single dose vaccine. It's less than 1 month.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would just get a record of that and I would walk it over to immunizations and have it put in your records.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
most of them actually are auto updated. So when
Okay.
you go, like if you go to HEB and you get the shot there, you can get the Johnson and Johnson is there, or it was. I don't know if it's still in stock, but they will take your insurance information and it will auto update with typically within about 48 hours. If you don't see it at that point, then absolutely take your shot card over to the med group and have it done through immunizations, and they can update your record then. But typically, it updates within 24 to 48 hours.
So how will this mandate affect Spartan events? So it's going to be a minimal impact Spartan events, right? So we did have a water gun, water balloon fight palooza planned with the whole 315th and whole 316th for tomorrow. That has been canceled because that's probably not a good look. Those groups are too large, and it just didn't make sense. So I can tell you, between the student leaders and the booster club, there are plans to do multiple events through the fall, all the way to Oktoberfest. Also, the base is also running events that are socially distanced. You're wearing a mask, and the majority of the population would be on base would be vaccinated. So there will still be events. We're not going to turn a ton of things off. It's just it'll be spaced out.
Thank you, Airman Underwood. Noted. Whitson, that's fine. If you have attended the brief and you were not asked to sign a declination or go get the shot, that's okay for now. If we get to a point where we have to have one or the other, we will let you know that we need you to sign a declination, okay?
Karaoke at the club. I'm sure karaoke at the club is still go, but I have to check with the FSS on that. You're talking about at the event center, correct?
We do carry.
Do you do it behind the door?
Behind the
Yeah,
squadron.
that's behind the spotter.
Yep.
Is karaoke still go?
It is for right now at social distance, but and
Outdoors.
have a bit too large.
I'm good with it.
Everybody's so prioritized for updates.
No, you do not need to wear a mask in your personal vehicle.
Good question. And that specifically, that's not a dumb question. That they put it in the policy actually so people would know that. The government vehicles only are required a mask in your personal space, your home, or your dorm room. Even if you have a roommate, those places are your personal spaces. You don't have to wear a mask there. So I won't wear a mask when I get home tonight, and I won't wear a mask in my car driving to my home tonight.
What if you have lots of people in your car? Like 4 with a seatbelt?
If they're in my household, we don't have to wear a mask because we're in the same household.
Right.
If me and you are, yes, I have to wear a mask.
Okay, so there you go. So if you have other airmen in a vehicle with you, because unless you drive a gargantuous Suburban or something and you can have 6 feet of space, you should probably be in masks.
The policy says people who live with you, so roommates, anything past roommates is a mask. We got the first store, are we automatically scheduled? You're not automatically scheduled. You have a date that you can return by. So no, you do that yourselves. I'm not going to vaccine. Briefly, and I am not vaccinated. William Flippin.
Flippin needs a medical brief. Okay.
Got you. Flippin, too easy.
If you have decided that you would like a vaccination, you can always drop a 341 in the box at CQ so we know, or just come let us know so we can give you the time to go do that.
What's the mask policy for children? The policy stated that children will wear masks as well. That is on page 2. It's got the definition of each category in there. Children are specifically called out in the section. So roommates are considered household, but not dorm. Mm-hmm. Correct.
I think you have to go to the med group to decline the vaccine.
I concur with that. I don't know when the next mass med brief is at the theater. They ran a series of
They only did it
those.
for the week, sir.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's a plan to do it again. The ones who attended that If they did not take the shot, they were then supposed to be entered into the computer as a declination. So I don't know if they had to sign anything or not, because we don't do those forms anymore. So if they signed in at the briefing and they didn't get their shot,
Yeah.
they may want to check their IMR. It may show that they declined.
Oh, I also can say that the other squadron commanders, when they got the list from MedOps, they were
May or
like,
may
the
not be
list is
fully
not,
accurate.
wasn't accurate.
Yes.
There are people
We'll
about to
work
work
you through that.
Okay. I'm starting at, where am I, already boring?
Yeah, she has a very good question, actually.
Excellent.
So she says.
My
I'm just
parents and
kidding.
grandparents are coming to San Angelo to visit on the 6th or 7th of August. How will the mandates and policies of COVID-19 affect them coming on base? Right, at this point, they will be allowed to come on base. The visitors or retirees and all that discussion with the wing was the wing commander looked at it. Everybody can still come on. They'll just have to be masked in the same policies that we are.
And even if you go off base with them, you would still have to be masked, even though they're your family members. They're not someone you live with anymore.
True.
So ROM, after 10 days, does he have to wait the full 14, or can he get a negative test and be done?
That's a good question.
Right.
That's probably a medical question.
We're still waiting. I'm gonna write that down, so we'll give you an answer, but we will,
That,
I
that
don't
might be
know.
on page 2, but I'll double check that.
In the past, they have tested out,
Okay.
but they still wait the 14 days. It's like you did the test, you're negative, but you're still waiting.
Got it.
You
Still
know,
wait the extra 2 or 3 days.
Yes. It's so fresh and new. We don't know. If denied the vaccine during the brief, but still been fully vaccinated.
no. If you're vaccinated, that will trump any declination that you did prior to that. You shouldn't have to go back and do anything else.
Correct. If you got vaccinated after you decline, it will update. The decline will still be in your record.
Gooder
Do you
question.
do you have a gooder question?
He does have a good question.
Shoot it. Let's see.
On like a scale of 1 to 10,
How hopeful are you this won't get much worse? I mean, hopeful versus informed versus accurate, right?
Yeah.
So DOD thinks that us going to mask is going to stop, and the mask worked before. And I think, again, as far as the training group, we're pretty good. We're doing well on the vaccinations. It's the town that has some issues, and it's some other parts of the wing, to be honest.
and the country. The country as a whole is not doing great, but we're getting there.
Would be. I hope you're right. But like she said, we got through a lot worse than the spikes are right now, so we'll be okay.
CVS has Johnson & Johnson. You can get on cvs.com and actually make yourself an appointment. You fill out the questionnaire on there, and then all you have to walk in and do is sit down and get your shot and go.
Don't go to HEB, because if you go to HEB, you're going to spend $200 and get a shot, right?
But it's a walk-in for the
Because
shot.
not on the shot. You're going to spend $200 on the groceries because they have everything.
And their tortillas are amazing.
Oh, the tortillas are everything to make it.
But yeah, HEB I think also has the Johnson & Johnson shot.
So you can go to the vaccine, the government website for the vaccine. I forget the link, but it will list out everywhere with all the different types. It's filterable.
So
by types.
the question about RAP, which is also a gooder question. We are still not cleared by 2nd Air Force to do RAP, okay? That is not, oh, we are? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
Don't go.
Until COVID shuts it
When did it come back?
down. August.
Oh, August isn't happening yet. Okay, so I apologize.
It will be
They
that.
still plan for it.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, sorry, I'm uninformed. Okay,
That's why we have you here.
I had not seen anything on RAP. Okay, so will it have any effect on RAP?
Quit looking at the top.
It could. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
It really is hard to tell.
Weapon school answer.
Perhaps. Maybe. Within 5 square miles.
Yeah.
I don't know. More to follow on the RAP thing. I'm sorry.
We know the inappropriate one's not you. Jake Stewart, when you got yours at Walgreens, was it relatively painless to make it easy for you in and out? They're not used to me asking questions, are they?
You know what?
Now I have to pay attention because he's asking questions.
It does have a great bakery section. Okay, off topic. Thank you. Off topic. I appreciate you.
Captain of the day. Not words there.
Okay.
DaCosta. McKenna DaCosta.
Okay, so you just fired today. So tomorrow NPF should have your 522 and they should start cutting things, but I will let them know that you are waiting.
You're required to wear a mask while working out in the gym. Yes, you're required to wear a mask while working out in the gym, whether you're doing lifting or cardio. It specifically says in the gym. Outside is it says mask is not required if you're outside in distance. Yeah, you outdoor gym. Yeah, good to go. He's back to speech. That's a great question, Hannah. If no one else has questions about this, I told you I had 3 things to talk to you about. The second thing I want to talk to you about is should you make an appointment to medical to accept or decline the vaccine? Yes, you should make an appointment with medical. If you can't get an appointment in a reasonable time frame, you should tell the MTLs, and then I can call and maybe get you right into it.
When you call and make an appointment, tell them what you need to do. Tell them that you want to come, probably decline or accept the vaccination. Only because they may have better information for you. Instead of making you an appointment, they may ask you to walk straight into immunizations and fill out the piece of paper, so then you don't have to take up a doctor's appointment time.
Stuart says, yes, 20 minutes in and out. Side effects though. Okay. All right, the second thing I want to talk about is status of discipline. Sharks, I have had people in my office this week for reasons, and it's not to get a coin. So I'm asking you to police each other. Let's stay within the guidelines. We have a lot of momentum on a lot of positive things going right now. With COVID right now, we need we need all of you, and we need every incentive and every program because nobody just wants to be stuck here all the time, just doing nothing, right? So let's don't force leadership's hand. Stay within the guidelines. If you need help with anything, tell your MTL. Use the chain, and then police each other. Because I think I've gotten a phone call every weekend that I've been here except one. So again, it was not for coins. So the last thing I have for you, if anybody has questions about that, didn't think so. Last thing I have is be careful at PT. Seen a couple of injuries come from the safety report about PT. It's great seeing you guys at PT, and it's a great workout. So you guys keep me young. So you encourage me, and I encourage you. For the Angelo State people, I will be at PT with you on 10 August in the morning. So I'm not sure what time your session is, 5:30 or 6:30.
6:15.
I know you got a little bit different time
6:15,
because of your class. So expect to see me on 10 August working out with you.
Speaking of keeping you young, sir,
Yes.
I don't think all of our students are tracking the fact that you're not as young as you used to be.
No,
You're not as young as you were yesterday?
No, I'm a day older than I
Oh,
was
A
yesterday.
day
man.
older,
A day
a day
older.
older makes a year older today.
Man. So yes,
Today's my birthday.
today's the commander's birthday. McKinley, I will check on your stuff tomorrow.
No class.
So for
Congrats.
Sear in
You
Oklahoma
survived
City,
another one?
I just want to get these 3 questions out before everybody starts typing like happy birthday and then they're gone. So McKinley, I wrote your name down. I will get you everything you need for Sear and whatnot. So, okay. See, here we go.
You're welcome.
Stoner and Peterson as well. So also applies to Stone, and Jacob Peterson.
Okay. Do you need the COVID vaccine if you have already had COVID?
Yes. Yes, you can catch it more than once because guess who's had COVID? Me. I've also taken the vaccine. I had COVID in December. Got put down really hard. We'll tell that story on maybe one of the other sessions, but it had me down for about 5 weeks. It was so bad that I did not know. I couldn't talk without losing breath, and I couldn't. We were trying to figure out how I was going to do the change of command speech. It was that bad. I think everybody knows I'm somewhat of an athlete, or I used to be when I was younger. So my joint PME a few years ago, I took every squad, every test, Army test, Marine Corps test, everyone's test made an excellent. That was summer 19. I get to COVID in fall in winter of 20, and I couldn't even run 1 mile. That's how bad it was. So it was about April before I was could function right again. So I definitely got the vaccine because you can get COVID more than once.
Does ASU usually go on the 10th of August?
Don't know.
That's a
I'll
Tuesday,
see.
right?
It's a Tuesday.
What days do you normally do it at ASU? I know Friday mornings.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But they don't go to every single session.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
I'll be there. And if I need to come a different day, I can come a different day.
Do you have
Thanks for
lasting
the
side
break.
effects?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Oh, it depends on your language. Okay, thank you, Libby. I appreciate it.
Somebody's gonna be there, right?
I mean, if you want to PT with the commander, he'll be there 10 August.
Savaka, thank you. Garcia, thank you. Everybody, thank you.
All right, so did you have a number 3?
That was 3.
Oh, that was 3. Okay,
COVID, discipline, and PT.
all right. So stay out of trouble, take care of yourselves, and wash your hands, please. We've had an uptick in a lot of joint spouse or marriages. So congratulations if you have found the love of your life. That's great. It affects how you move after this, okay? If you marry mill to mill, it's slightly easier as far as like joint spouse stuff goes. There's some paperwork, there's intent codes, there's all these things. So if you're planning on getting married to another military member, just know that there are things that you have to do to make that happen for you guys. If you married a civilian, or you are married to a civilian, or you have children, you guys are always going to have to fill out medical paperwork before you PCS. It is not an easy process. It is not a fast process, okay? So don't wait until the last minute. So if you are married or have children or both, or plan to get married before you leave, you need to start doing medical stuff ASAP. We have about 12 cases sitting at EFMP right now, and none of them are moving quickly. So please help us help you do that a little faster. Antibodies? I don't know.
Let's go back to Whitby. Hey, Whitby,
Okay.
You don't have to go to PT on the 10th of August if it's not your day that's scheduled to go. Yeah. So I'm not saying that everyone has to be there on 10 August. This one, I will be there with whoever's there. Okay.
He goes to all kinds of PT sessions, though. He'll hit your day.
Yeah, I'll get you. I'll find you.
Will the Air Force ever start doing antibody testing or opting out of it? Okay.
That's a good question, and that's a question I can actually ask the Med Ops, Dr. Roy. Start doing antibody testing, or that be an option for opting out if you already have the antibody? That's a fair question. Who is building 360? If that's China, I'm not answering you, China. Anonymous questions that are really good. So it's like, hey, if you get antibody testing, can we steal it from your medical database, America?
So I'm going to go to Garcia. The records that you need for medical, so if they're already being seen in the medical treatment facility, i.e. right here on Goodfellow, then everything is already there. If your spouse is in a different state because they're waiting for you to graduate or whatever, you will just need to, when you get into the EFMP site and there's a login and you get your own site for Q-Base and all the medical stuff, you will put in any medical facility that your spouse or children or whoever goes to. The EFMP office will then request medical records through there. So you don't have to request medical records through them. EFMP will do that for you. Therefore, it takes a while. So, all right. Free Rose and Van Duzer. Yes, I agree. Okay, so I always end every session. If you're new here, welcome. But if you are without an assignment 30 days prior to your graduation date, please let your instructor or MTLs know so we can help you get there. If you are 2 weeks before your graduation date and you do not have orders, we need to know. And if you are within the week of graduation and you are flailing, you're too late. Please let us know ASAP. You have to do your part. Everybody PCSing, regardless of your marital status, if you have kids or not kids, you all have your own things to do. There's CBTs, there's out processing checklists, there's 30-day out briefs, there's all kinds of things that you have to do. I cannot do them for you. So I can help you if you have done everything to help me. But until you get to that point, just let us know how we can help.
The FMP website
Yes.
saying forbidden access is denied.
Taylor
Different
Nielsen, I
browser.
have your name on a list. You're welcome. Yep.
Is it the browser or is it something worse?
No, it's EFMP's website's amazing.
We'll give it a minute so for questions,
Yeah.
and then we'll close it out. On a secure, you just said it must be on a secure computer, some government computer. So I'm guessing they're doing that from dorms.
Yeah, you have to be using your CAT card for sure.
Might be partial portal accounts to check email. I've tried multiple times.
So your email is not connected to the portal.
It
So
is not.
that's one thing. You guys have CSLs that can help them.
We can help fund this out by, we have VSB access, we can check to see if it's locked, open up emails, even transfer from wherever it feels.
Go see the MTLs and they can help you unlock your account.
Any plans in the works to enforce more social distancing? Yeah, so the wing has been really specific on commanders' authorities. So I have seen people enforcing masks on the troop walk. I have seen people enforcing masks in the buildings. So we will also be enforcing distancing. And to be honest, we didn't probably for the last 6 months because there wasn't a policy or mandate that with any teeth to do it. The policy and mandate that was printed out today also talks about the UCMJ for that too. So there's teeth with it now. My favorite sports team is it's a tie between the Sooners, Oklahoma Sooners, and the Chiefs. But thanks for asking that.
Michael B, go back to the MTLs. If you've tried once, maybe there's something else that they can do now. They're going through a checklist just like we always do to say this didn't work, so let's try this next thing. Okay,
Randy just said he can help with EFMP.
thank you. I'm a Seminoles fan and I'm a 49er fan. That's football. Yeah,
Whatever, 49ers. I remember them from the Super Bowl.
it's a long time ago.
But we're Sooner. Remind.
Sooners to the SEC. How about that?
I'm good with that.
Are you?
Yeah, of course I'm good with that. We're better than Tennessee and Mississippi and Ole Miss and Vanderbilt. I mean, we're going to be like the top 3.
Jacob Black, you can. You have the opportunity to upload whatever you want into your EFMP stuff. That does not stop EFMP from requesting more records from that hospital, though, so I wouldn't waste my time. So they're going to want to get them like official records.
I had a year or you before I joined the Air Force. I knew I liked you, Raymond.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Let's have a great weekend.
Yeah, proud of you, Sharks. Have a great weekend. Be safe. And as Chief always says,
Don't jack it up.
bye. Yeah, roll tide.